Hello guys, welcome to Talking News. Please subscribe, like right now so you don't forget. Hit that notification bell as well if you would like notifications whenever I have new uploads. Okay guys, so we're on part 2 of On the Stand. And we are going to definitely start covering more details, and a lot of people are excited about the witness coming up pretty soon. Here is what we're hearing in the next few days, which is going to be KK, or otherwise known as Crystal Lee Kinney, the nurse from Idaho, who plans to testify against Patrick Frazee. And according to what we're hearing right now, is Crystal Lee Kinney is the key to whether or not they're able to prosecute Patrick Frazee for the fact that Kelsey Berreth is missing still. We still haven't found her. And so the fact of the matter is, since we have not found anything, and guys, I have to be very careful with the words that I'm using, otherwise we don't get monetized. I'm telling you, YouTube is, and they want to tell us what we can use and what we can't use. That's the problem, and I think a lot of us are getting tired of it. But anyways, they still haven't found any remains whatsoever, so this lack of evidence is definitely going to hurt this case a little bit. So what is Crystal Lee? She has been arrested, but she made a plea deal, and she was arrested for tampering with evidence. So she was caught destroying a phone, getting rid of Kelsey Berreth's keys and gun. Of course, we all know that she was solicited, or she offered to help in a plotting of getting rid of Kelsey Berreth. So for the prosecution at this case, they're going to have to prove without beyond reasonable doubt that Patrick Frazee is the reason that Kelsey Berreth is no longer here. So once Crystal steps on that stand, it's going to be the job of the defense to prove that she is not a reliable witness and that she is not a truthful person, which we all know she's not a truthful person. And the problem with this is the fact that, well, this can end up setting Patrick Frazee free. But a lot of people, I know what I think Patrick Frazee is doing. He's waiting to see, and his defense is waiting to see what she says on stand. He sent a warning to her. I swear that's speculation right there, guys. I feel that he sent a warning saying, look, if you say too much, I'm coming after you. I won't be going down alone. So, but back to the fact, Crystal Lee claims that she's seen the entire thing, after the fact. So she knows exactly what Patrick Frazee did with Kelsey Berreth. She was there for some of the disposing of Kelsey Berreth. It's just we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with that. So what's been happening since the beginning of this week with this case? Well, I have part 1 you want to check out. Make sure that you check out the videos that I'm uploading on this case. And well, for Tuesday, they had several witnesses coming up, including, several of the investigators and the policemen involved when they first found out that Kelsey Berreth was missing, as well as Patrick Frazee's brother, Sean Frazee. And according to Sean Frazee, he was asked multiple questions about Thanksgiving Day, and we're finding out that Patrick Frazee didn't show up to Thanksgiving dinner with his family until late that evening, which was about 5 o'clock, and that his brother was at Sheila Frazee's home eating Thanksgiving dinner at 3 o'clock that afternoon. So according to Sean Frazee, he says he's not that close with Patrick Frazee for about 1 to 3 years now. I want to remind you who exactly his brother is. His brother is in law enforcement, and he works for the Colorado Springs area. His name surfaced several times, and he actually said that he was with Patrick Frazee when investigators approached Patrick Frazee and asked him to turn over his phone. What we're hearing is Patrick Frazee looked to his brother Sean like, what am I supposed to do? And I guess the brother, they're saying that the brother asked him if they had a warrant, but they said no, but we are getting one. And Patrick Frazee asked him what he should do, and Sean told him he should hand the phone over to the authorities. So he was one of 11 witnesses called Tuesday in Teller County Courthouse for the Patrick Frazee trial. So most of the time during this trial Tuesday, prosecution spent most of the day developing a timeline through surveillance footage and witness testimony of where Kelsey Berreth and Patrick Frazee were throughout Thanksgiving Day. And Patrick Frazee's defense attorneys highlighted the weakness in the surveillance footage, noting that no images show the client carrying the fiance's remains out of her Woodland Park condominium on the day she disappeared. Of course, we're not getting any great details on what they seen either, but I can imagine that if he was going in and out of there throughout the day, which we're hearing he did, most likely we're thinking that he did this to Kelsey between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock Thanksgiving Day. 3 o'clock they started dinner at Patrick Frazee's mother's house. We know that now. And then according to his brother's testimony, he arrived to Thanksgiving dinner around 5 o'clock that evening. So what was he doing in between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock? So I think that is a crucial timeline right there. Sometimes I wonder, because of that big gap right there, if there was more that happened in that period of time. You know, did they hang out for a while? What exactly happened in that big empty time slot? I'm hoping, and this is speculation, that she wasn't tortured for a period of time before he finally did what he did. After all, he did blindfold her. And to me, this says other things. It can mean other things, that he had other interests that are not being mentioned. That's my speculation part, guys. That is not fact. I'm making sure you know that, because this is talking news. We talk about it. We do know that Patrick Frazee went to Walmart. He went to the bank after picking up his daughter. Then he returned to the townhome because it's seen on surveillance camera. We found out through the neighbor's testimony that she didn't witness anything whatsoever, and that the walls were quite sound. Okay, so on Tuesday, prosecutors began to show the evidence that Patrick Frazee's financial situation, which we kind of didn't know about his financial situation the entire time that this has been a year now. I haven't anyways. But according to the 4th District Attorney Dan May, he said it's going to become an issue in the case. They said that Frazee was late on his payments toward a $72,000 loan and had been paying Kelsey Berreth $700 a month in child support between October 27th and July 2018. So is this another motive for him, because we did know that his daughter was the primary motive, and that's a possibility. And I'm sorry, I'm having trouble speaking today. So Colorado Bureau of Investigation agent Greg Slater said during the testimony, Frazee's brother also said there had been a conflict in the Frazee family over $400,000. Well, in the estate that was left behind by the brother's father, who died in 2018. Investigators also found custody paperwork about Kaylee Berreth, which is Frazee's daughter, in Frazee's home, but nothing was ever filed in court, according to Slater. Now, according to this article, they're saying that Sean Frazee, when he did speak, he was speaking very quietly. He didn't appear to make any eye contact with his brother from the witness stand. So according to this article, this is what they're saying that Sean Frazee said he saw his brother on Thanksgiving Day. He was also with his brother the day Patrick Frazee gave his phone to police during the investigation to Berreth's disappearance. So interestingly enough, Sean Frazee was not asked by either prosecutors or his brother's public defenders whether his brother acted differently during Thanksgiving dinner at their mom's 35-acre ranch. So in court, they were able to get exact details from Sean Frazee of what we were discussing earlier, and he said he arrived at the 35-acre ranch about 2:30 p.m. on Thanksgiving. Patrick Frazee did not arrive to the house until 5 p.m. after the family had already eaten. According to Sean, Patrick Frazee had Kaylee with him. Now, interestingly, Patrick Frazee previously had told his brother that he and Kelsey Berreth had separated on December 3rd. So this is after Kelsey's gone, guys. Patrick Frazee told his brother that Berreth's mother had reported her missing. Sean said, quote, "He explained to me that her grandmother was sick and that she may have been visiting her sick grandmother," end quote, Sean said. Now, according to this, they're saying that Sean said he was concerned but didn't know what to think. This is because he said he didn't know Berreth. Quote, "We were really praying that she would be found healthy and alive somewhere," end quote, he said. So according to this article, prosecutors on Tuesday also showed images from surveillance videos from Berreth's neighbor's house and inside Safeway, where she was last seen in public. So Patrick Frazee's public defender, Adam Stingerwald, I hope I said that right, attempted to discredit the accuracy of the timeline created by the neighbor's cameras by drawing comparisons between the two still images, purported to be taken seconds apart but show completely different shadows. Quote, "That is not how the sun moves across the sky," end quote, says Patrick's defense attorney. So the expert who compiled the images, Chad, Menninger, said that the method was used to find the timestamp. The images meant things could be slightly out of order, but would be accurate within a few hours. So Adam, Frazee's defense attorneys, pointed out that none of the photos show Frazee carrying the large black box, which prosecutors allege Frazee used to carry Berreth's remains, carry her from out of the condo to the vehicle. I think what they were not hearing here is prosecutors kind of addressing that and telling us whether or not a lot of cameras, they kind of start and stop. So is it fair to say that possibly these cameras are not catching everything? And what's even stranger is the fact that the footage from the ATM that Frazee visited just that afternoon on Thanksgiving Day showed a large black box on the back of his red truck. Now, we've been told that it was a tote bag, but what we're hearing in trials, they're calling it a large black box. So anyways, they did testify that they did see it at the ATM, the ATM footage. So the investigator, Stephanie Courtney, also said that the surveillance camera at the local furniture store showed a box in the truck bed. Now, I don't know if you guys ever checked out those very detailed videos that I made earlier, but that furniture store was on one of the main highways. I can't remember which one it is, on the way to Berreth's house. So, the local furniture store showed the box in the truck, like I said, The various images also showed the box moved or was repositioned in the truck between 1:30 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. Thanksgiving Day. So I guess we see that he is driving around town in between 1:30 and 4:30. So prosecutors on Tuesday started to ask witnesses about Kenny and how they used phone records from both Frazee and Berreth to track her down in Idaho. Crystal Lee Kenny is the backbone of the prosecutor's case and is expected to testify what she did today. And I want to make sure I'm mentioning that will be coming up right after part 2 of On the Stand. So anyways, Teller County District Court Judge Scott Sells dismissed jurors about 3:30 p.m. Tuesday because prosecutors had no more witnesses scheduled for the rest of the day. So the judge and attorneys for both sides met in the court session closed to the public, including news reporters, and later that afternoon. So trial was rescheduled to resume at 8:30 this morning, and that was Wednesday. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close this out because I really want to go ahead and get the third, part 3, if I can think, of On the Stand on the Kelsey Berreth and Patrick Frazee trial. So, I really had trouble reading that tonight. That's probably going to be the most interesting video that I do put out on this case so far. Anyways, I want to send hugs, and I'm just hoping that this family can make it through this, because what I'm reading tonight is just, it must be difficult for that family. So couldn't imagine going through that. All right, guys, I want to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.